When the last patient left, the dentist locked the front door, flipped the sign to closed, and smiled at me in the chair. Now, we can finally talk. Exactly how he'd planned it. The deadbolt clicked, and every muscle in my back locked up. I sat up in the chair, and asked why he was closing early. He said the receptionist had a family emergency, and he'd sent her home. That was a lie. I'd walked past her desk on the way in, and her purse was still under the chair, her coffee still steaming. But I lay back down anyway, telling myself I was overthinking it. Then he rolled the tray of instruments closer, and picked up a syringe I hadn't seen him prepare. "This is just a little something to relax you," he said. I asked what it was. He didn't answer. He just smiled that same calm smile, like he'd done this 100 times before. I told him I needed to use the bathroom first. He hesitated, then nodded. I locked the bathroom door behind me and pulled out my phone with hands that wouldn't stop shaking. 2 bars. I texted my sister Priya 4 words. "Call the police now." Then I did what my mom had drilled into me after my cousin's assault 2 years ago. I opened my phone, shared my live location with Priya and my mom, started a voice recording, and slid the phone into the inside pocket of my hoodie, mic side up. If this went bad, somebody was going to hear every second of it. I flushed the toilet, ran the sink, and walked back out like nothing was wrong. "Everything all right?" he asked. "Just nervous," I said. He patted the chair. I sat back down. He picked up the syringe again. "Dr. Vance," I said. "What's actually in that?" He tilted his head. "Something to help you forget," he said softly. "You've been asking too many questions about your father's file." My blood went cold. My dad had been his patient for 12 years. 6 months ago, my dad died of what the coroner called a heart attack during a routine root canal. I had spent every day since going through his medical records, and last week I'd finally found something. A prescription for a sedative my dad was severely allergic to, signed by Dr. Vance 3 days before he died. I had called the office that morning to ask about it. The receptionist said Dr. Vance would explain everything at my cleaning today. My cleaning. That was the appointment. That was the trap. "You killed him," I whispered. He didn't deny it. He just kept holding the syringe. "Your father was going to report me," he said. "He'd figured out what I was doing to the elderly patients. The Medicare billing, the unnecessary procedures, the sedation charges for work I never did. He gave me 1 week to turn myself in. He didn't make it to day 4. I begged him to let me leave. He shook his head, almost sad about it. "You already know too much, but this won't hurt. You'll just fall asleep in the chair. Cardiac event, same as your dad. It runs in families." Then his phone buzzed on the counter, and he glanced at it just for a second, just long enough. I kicked the tray as hard as I could. Instruments went flying, the syringe skittered across the floor, and I was up and running before he finished swearing. The front door was deadbolted from the inside with a key lock. No thumb turn. I ran the other way, down the hall, past the exam rooms, toward the back. He was behind me, close, breathing hard. I heard him grab something metal off a counter. The back door had a push bar. I hit it at full speed. The alarm screamed loud enough to shake the walls. The door flew open into the alley, and I ran, not toward the parking lot where he'd expect me to go, the other way, toward the coffee shop 2 buildings down where I knew there'd be people. I made it 30 yards before I heard sirens. Not 1 car. 4. They came in from both ends of the alley at once. Priya had called 911 the second she got my text, and she'd stayed on the line with dispatch listening to my recording the whole time. They'd heard him confess to my father's murder in real time. They put Dr. Vance on the ground next to a dental scaler he'd been carrying like a knife. An officer wrapped a foil blanket around me and asked if there was anyone else involved. I didn't answer with words. I pulled the phone out of my hoodie, still recording, and played back the last 2 minutes. His voice, calm and clear, admitting he'd killed my father, admitting the billing fraud, admitting he was going to do the same to me. The officer's jaw tightened. "How many elderly patients?" he asked me. I looked him dead in the eye. "Check his sedation records for the last 5 years. Every single one who died in that chair. They had a warrant for his files, his home, and his bank accounts before the ambulance ever left the alley."